Hello. Okay, so I'm going to start this class standing up. And this class has got a little bit of everything. It's going to have a nice warm up to get the body moving, blood circulating. Then we'll go into some sun salutations and then into some warriors flows, dancing warriors. Then we'll do some standing balance. Then we do some core work. Then we get down on the mat for some longer stretches. So pretty much covers everything. We've got a lot of sagittal movement, and we've got quite a bit of hip openers as well, which is great. That's what you want to practice. You don't want to just keep sun salutations all the time, because that doesn't help tight hips, which we've all got. So we're going to start in a standing position, and we're going to get centered in this yoga practice. Again, anything in this class that you can't do, don't worry about it too much. Don't beat yourself up. Don't be judgmental. We're all at different stages of our yoga journey. Just give it a go. See how you go. If it hurts, don't do it. Be compassionate with your body. I can't see you, so I don't know what you are, in terms of constraints. I know my constraints, and I only do yoga that works for me. And you should do the same. Be compassionate. You already. I'm a sat nav. I can show you the way, but you're driving, so you need to take due care. Okay, so starting in Tadasana with the feet about hip width apart. First thing to do is lift the toes, lower the toes, broaden through the knuckles of the feet. Get that really good feel of the mat beneath you. Big knuckle of big toes, little knuckle of little toes, and the heels. And try to find that sense of ground in here. Slightly engaging your quads here, lifting the kneecaps up. A very slight engagement of your navel, and then upright through the spine. Lifting the crown of the head up, so length through the neck. Allow the arms to drop down the side of the body. You can take the palms forward anatomically, or just rest the hands by the side. But think about grounding, think about length through the body, tucking your chin in slightly. You can close your eyes if that's okay for you. You can look at something on the floor in front of you and take a few slow, steady breaths here. But what I'm asking you to do, what I'm trying to do now, is find that centering, find that neutrality in terms of center of gravity, where it's actually no effort to stand upright, where you find you might feel yourself swaying a little bit, but that's okay. You can find that sense of grounding in your feet. The breath is nice and slow. You're relaxing, releasing tension in your body, so your shoulders are dropping down slightly. And taking a few breaths here to find that feeling, again, where gravity is not pulling you down, because you're in a nice flat line in space, and it's effortless to stand up. And bringing your mind into that sense, that feeling, and the breath. And feeling grounded not only through your feet physically, but feeling grounded within your mind into this practice. You can stay here as long as you like. Sometimes we don't give ourselves enough time just to bring awareness within. Shut out all that external stuff. Okay, and opening your eyes, softening your knees, just moving your legs forwards. Going to take the legs a little bit wider, probably about a mat width apart. Inhale the hands up, and exhale down. And inhale, we're going to side bend to one side. So bring the right hand up, in this case, over the thighs on the inhale, and exhale down. And inhale to the other side. You can do this 3 or 4 times. As we do it, reaching up with that hand as you feel the ribs opening, and then breathing into that space created by the ribs opening into that lung. Finding that nice stretch, lengthening through the side of the body, keeping the shoulders on top of the hips. And the reason we do these side bends, or at least I like this side bends with the legs wide, because it stops the hips, the pelvis from shifting. So the pelvis is pretty much anchored. So the lateral bend is coming through the spine, and you can actually feel the more you do these, you go a little bit longer as tissue starts to loosen, lengthen. Okay, done a few more than I said we would, but who's counting? Okay, come in now to an upright position. So we're going to turn to the left in this case. We're going to take a balance, a very slow balance. So what this is leaning over that left leg. Take the right leg behind you, bring your body weight over that left leg, and float the right foot off of the mat. Sweep the arms behind you into Superman, and only go as far as you can find and hold the balance on that left ankle. Just checking in to see how the balance is, looking at something on the floor in front of you, not going too deep here, building that confidence up in yourself. And then slowly float that right foot back, keeping the feet quite wide-ish, hands onto opposite shoulders for split squat. So inhale here, on an exhale, dropping down towards that right knee onto the floor. So not necessarily touching the floor, but coming down as close as you can that is comfortable for you. Keeping the axial body, that's the bit from the tailbone up to the head, nice and vertical if you can, feeling the work going on in the quads. And we'll do a number of those. I've lost count, but who's counting? And then turn and then take the feet out 45 degrees. So the feet are in line with the shins. Inhale, the hands up, glide in squat. It's coming down, inhale up, glide in squat. Get the hips working now. And so this is just warm up. So not really going crazy here, just getting the body moving. You don't need to go too deep in any of these movements. And you just do enough of those to get the blood flowing through the body, the heart rate raised a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to turn to the other side. Find that Superman posture as you lean your body weight over that standing leg. Take the arms behind you to counterbalance as the body comes forward. Lift that left leg off of the mat. Checking out the balance here. Keeping that focus. Keeping the breath nice and steady. And holding here. Again, not going too mad. Just waking up the balancing brain. And then dropping that foot down. Again, a little bit of a stride here. Take the feet a little bit wider apart. Hands onto the shoulders for split squat. When you're ready, slowly coming down and up. Exhaling down, dropping that left knee and up. And down and up. Really working the quads now on this side. Getting everything stretched, loosened up for bigger movements to come. Keep going. It's probably it. Enough. Step to the top of your mat. Okay, from here, soften the knees. Inhale, the hands up. Exhale, sweep the hands behind and up. Inhale up. Exhale, behind and up. Bringing the shoulder blades towards each other. Working with the breath. Going as slow or as fast as you wish. And on the next one, we're going to inhale into chair. So inhale, hands up, hold chair here. So hips are down, knees are bent, looking forwards up between the hands. Really feel the quads now on fire. And then slowly sweeping the hands behind you, come up onto your toes for a balance here. Bringing the shoulder blades towards each other in the back, onto the toes. Wobbling, shaking's good. Don't worry too much about it. And then slowly lowering the hips down. Inhaling the hands up into chair once more. And then exhale, fall forwards, bent knee forward bend, hands on the shins. Inhale, straighten the legs, lift the chest, look forwards for a couple of breaths here. And then tucking the chin in, soften the knees, slowly rolling all the way up to standing. Inhale, the hands up, look up, soften the knees, float down, bent knee forward bend. Hands on shins, inhale, come up to sun salutations now. With an exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands down. Walk all the way back to plank. Inhaling the shoulders on top of the wrists. Exhaling, lower onto the knees and the chest and the chin come down. Tops of the feet on the mat. Inhale through into Cobra, lifting the crown of the head up. Exhaling down. Inhale into tabletop, tuck the toes in, and then exhale as you lift the hips up and send the heels down to the mat, straightening the legs. Pulling out the legs here, first downward dog. And then inhaling, coming up onto your toes, exhaling down onto the heels. Look up between the hands, bend the knees, walk to the top of the mat, bend knee forward bend, tucking the chin in, rolling on an inhale all the way up to standing. Inhaling again, when you're here, hands up, look up. Soften the knees, exhale all the way down. Hands onto the floor. Inhale, step the right leg to the back of the mat. Bring that left knee over the left ankle. Inhale, turn the shoulders to the left, take the left hand up. Exhale down. Inhale, turn it to the right, take the right hand up and down. Inhale, back into plank. Lower down to the mat, all the way down. Inhale, peel forwards and up into Cobra. Maybe the hips off of the mat, pelvis off of the mat into high Cobra. Exhale down. Inhale into tabletop. And step in the right foot forward between the hands. Lift up the left knee. With an inhale, turn the shoulders to the right. Take the right hand up and down. Take the left hand up and down. Step to the top of the mat. Tuck the chin in. Roll up to standing. Inhale the hands up. One more of these. Exhale, float down, bend knee forward bend. Inhale, hands on shin, lift up into half forward bend. This time, exhale into a straight leg forward bend. As you lower the chest and the head further down towards the mat, lift the sit bones up, keeping the legs straight. Maybe using the hands as a bind to pull into this posture, but if it's tough on your lower back, bend the knees. Taking a few breaths here to find some length through the legs, through the spine. Bending the knees, planting the hands down. Step the right leg to the back of the mat, drop the right knee down. Pushing that knee back, tops of the right foot on the mat. Come to an upright position, pull the tummy button in. Inhale the hands up into crescent moon. Exhale, lean into this lunge. Keeping the shoulders quite soft here, looking forwards. Length through the fingers. Finding that tension in that right hip flexor. Couple of breaths here. And come back down. And then tuck the right toes in, lift the right leg off the mat. Glide back to plank. Okay. This time, drop down into a half plank if you want. And then back up into plank. And then drop all the way down to the floor. Tops of the feet on the mat. Inhale, lift up into Cobra. High Cobra, so lifting the pelvis off of the mat this time. Take a look down the left side of the mat and look forwards. And take a look down the right side of the mat. Look forwards, release to the floor. Push up into tabletop, tucking the toes in, into downward dog. And take a few breaths here. Pushing down into the heels, even pressure through both hands. Try to bear some weight down on the base of the knuckle and then turn the elbow creases forward, externally rotating in the shoulders. Soft in the neck. Okay, inhaling that right leg nice and high, three-legged dog. Coming off to the toes of the left foot, exhale, step that right foot forward between the hands, dropping the left knee down. Tops of the left foot on the mat. Inhale, come all the way up. Inhaling the hands up as you pull the tummy button in, crescent moon. And exhale, lean into this lunge. Soften these shoulders here, so not shrugging the shoulders, but length through the fingertips, looking forwards. And then slowly exhaling all the way down to the mat. Tucking the left toes in. I'm going to lift the left knee up and rotate that left heel down. I'm going to windmill the left hand forward and up, arcing all the way around to warrior two, and then turn and look over the middle finger of your right hand. Finding the stability here, finding your good foundation. So pointing your right knee to your right pinky, get a little bit of tension hopefully here, and round it through the outer edge of your left foot. Looking straight ahead, soften the shoulders here. And then inhale, sweep that left hand all the way forwards. On an exhale, pull that elbow back, archer, and stretch that right arm as far forward as you can as you pull that left elbow back. Still maintaining your focus straight across the front of the body here, and try to drop into this posture. And a couple of breaths here. And then straightening out that left hand. Okay, turning the right arm up, inhale, coming all the way back into reclined warrior, and exhale into side bend. So right forearm on right thigh, left hand over the top, turn and look up at that left hand. Hold here, breathing into the rib cage on the left side. And then slowly coming all the way back to warrior here. And then this time interlacing the fingers behind the back as you straighten the arms. Lift the chest up on an inhale, on an exhale, come forwards. Humble warrior, taking a few breaths here. And then drop the hands down. Turn to face the front. Inhale the hands up in front of you into warrior one. On an exhale, going to take that left foot in line, float the hands all the way down to the mat, turn both feet in line, step back into downward dog, pedal out the legs here, and then inhale through into plank. Tops of the feet on the mat, and then slowly drop the hips down into upward dog as you lift up through the crown of the head. Bring the shoulders away from the ears. A few breaths here. We're going to downward dog here. So you can drop into tabletop and into downward dog, or using your core and your spinal erectors, lift the hips up, step or roll over the toes into dog. Taking a couple of breaths here. And we're going to inhale that left leg nice and high, coming up on the toes of the right foot. And we're going to step that left foot all the way through between the hands. Okay, rotating that right heel down to the floor. And then with a slow inhale as you windmill arcing up into warrior two on this side. Establishing this posture, just gently, just quickly looking behind to see what your right arm is doing. Looking over the middle finger of the left hand. Left knee pointing to left toes, rounded through the outer edge of the right foot. Okay, a few breaths here to establish this posture. And then with a big inhale, sweep that right hand forwards, ready for archer. And then on an exhale, pull it back. Elbow comes all the way back as you stretch that left hand forwards and look over the middle finger of the left hand. Hold here and breathe. And then taking that left hand all the way back, keeping your focus. Take the right hand all the way back. Take the left palm to face up. Inhale, come all the way back into the reclined warrior. And exhale all the way through, bending that left forearm and coming over into side stretch here. And I apologize for the left and the right mix up. It's not uncommon in my yoga. But holding this posture here. And then slowly come all the way back into warrior two here. Drop the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, straighten the arms out, lift the chest on an inhale, on an exhale, fold forwards. Humble warrior. Processing all of the things going on in your body, the sensations, the feelings, that sense of grounding, your alignment. And slowly release the hands, come all the way up, but this time turn to the front, inhale the hands up into warrior one. Exhale, turn both feet in line, float the hands all the way down to the mat. Inhale, step back into plank. From plank, exhale all the way down. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale, up into cobra. Exhale, down. Inhale to tabletop. Now we're going to do a flow with all of that stuff put together. So tuck the toes in, exhale into downward dog. Okay, and we're going to go with the foot we just went with. So with an inhale, lift that left leg nice and high, coming up to the toes of the right foot. With an exhale, step all the way forwards. Rotate that right heel down. Only this time we're going to wheel up into warrior one. With a big breath in, sweep the hands forwards and up into warrior one. On an exhale, turn to the right, drop the left arm in front and the right hand behind. Inhale, sweeping that right hand forward, ready for archer. And exhale, pull that bow back and take aim. Couple of breaths here. Exhale, take that hand all the way back. Inhale, length through both arms now in warrior two. Then turn that left palm up. Inhale, back into reclined warrior. Exhale into side stretch. Maybe going a bit deeper this time. Inhale, back into warrior two. Drop the hands down behind the back on an exhale. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, fold forwards. Couple of breaths here. Exhale, and then the inhale, come all the way back up and lifting into warrior two. Inhale, lengthen through the arms. Exhale, windmill down, turn both feet in line. Hands come down to the mat. Inhale, back into plank. Exhale, all the way down. Knees, chest, chin. Inhaling when you're ready through and up into cobra. And exhaling back to the floor. Inhale, into tabletop. Tuck the toes in. Lift the hips up on an exhale. Couple of breaths here.
And then inhale, right leg nice and high, come up onto the toes, the left foot. On an exhale, step that right foot forward between the hands, rotating that left heel down. On an inhale, sweep both hands forwards and up into warrior one. On an exhale, float the hands down to warrior two. Your focus is straight ahead. Inhaling that left arm all the way forwards, ready for archer. And exhaling, pulling the elbow back, stretching the right arm forwards. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, taking that left hand back. Turn the right palm to face up. Inhale, come all the way back into reclined warrior and exhale all the way through into side stretch. And then inhaling all the way back to warrior two, dropping the hands down on the exhale. Inhale, lift the chest, drive the arms away. Exhale, come all the way down, humble warrior. And then slowly inhale, coming all the way up, release hands, warrior two. Exhale, windmill down, both feet in line, hands down. Inhaling back to plank, exhaling to the ground. Inhaling up into cobra or upward dog, exhaling down. Inhale to tabletop, tuck the toes in, exhale to downward dog. And then inhale, the left leg nice and high, coming on the toes of the right foot. Exhale, step forwards to top of the mat. Inhale, sweep both hands up into high crescent. Find some stability here. Hold and breathe. Coming into warrior three balance here. So when you're ready, looking at the ground in front of you, lean your body weight over that left leg. Float the right foot off of the mat. Find some balance here. And when you're ready, going to slowly come up to standing staff. So lifting the arms up above you as that right leg comes through, and then standing pigeon, resting the right ankle onto the right thigh. Bring the hands down to heart center, and then slowly come down into your standing pigeon here. Left ankle really starting to work now, but keep the focus, keep the breath. Slowly come out of that, straightening up, lift the hands up, standing staff. Slowly exhale, take that right leg back, drop the hands down, standing split, float that right foot down. Push into the mat, the hands, inhale back into plank, exhale all the way down. Inhale up into cobra or upward dog. Exhale down. Inhale to tabletop, tucking the toes in. Exhale, downward dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Regroup. Feel how you feel. Pedal out the legs. There's some movement here. Maybe rock forwards into plank, back into dog. Maybe take the heels down to one corner of the mat and then to the other corner. Maybe bend the knees and push the chest back towards the knees, stretching out through the upper back. And when you're ready, going to inhale that right leg nice and high. Come up onto the toes of the left foot. Exhaling, stepping that right foot forward between the hands. Ready to come up to a high crescent lunge. So lift the arms up, even pressure through both feet, finding this grounding, this stability. And then being ready for warrior three. So find your target point on the floor. And then when you're ready, take those arms over that standing right leg as you float the left leg off of the mat. And take a few moments here to find your stability, your balance. And breathe. When you're ready, work your way up into standing staff. As you lift the arms up, counterbalance with that left foot coming through. Externally rotating the hip, rest the ankle on top of the thigh. Bring your hands down to your heart center. Under good control, don't rush it. Slowly come down into standing pigeon and finding your balance here. And breathe. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't work for you, if you're wobbling, if you're falling out. Every time you do this, you attempt this, you're better than the last time and your body will adjust.
Practice, consistency, practice, practice. Slowly coming out of this, inhaling the hands up, standing staff, and then floating all the way down to standing split. Float that left foot down, push into the mat with the hands, back to plank. This time dropping onto the knees, and they're going to sit the hips back onto the heels. Going to rest the forehead down on the mat. Take a child pose here as you take the arms down the side of the body. Release the shoulders, elbows coming to the floor. Breathing into your lungs to compress your lungs into the ribs in the upper back. And feel that movement of the breath, pushing the intercostal muscles wider apart. And feeling what's going on in your body. Feeling the heart rate. Letting the breath slow down. And from this child pose, using your core, your back muscles, look up and then slowly come all the way up to hero. And then lift up into thunderbolt as you bring your hips on top of your knees. Position your knees so they're fairly comfortable here. We're going to be here a little while. Inhaling the hands up nice and high. On an exhale, side bend to the left. Drop the left hand down to the side as the right hand comes over. Hips, shoulders on hips. Inhale up. Side bend to the other side. Inhale up, twist. Exhale, turn to the left, left arm behind, right hand in front. Inhale up, turn to the front. And all the way around to the other side. And the hips and the pelvis stay stationary. So this is all in the thoracic spine. Inhale up. On an exhale, slowly float down onto your heels as the hands come down onto the thighs. Inhale up into thunderbolt with arms raised. Exhale, come down. Inhale up one more time. Exhale down. Okay, good. Come forwards onto your hands, crossing your ankles, roll back onto your bottoms, and then all the way down onto your lumbar spine. Shooting your feet up in the air. Straight legs here, ankles flexed, toes coming back towards you. Lift your shoulders off the mat, hands either side of your legs, and pulse it. So exhaling, pushing or pulling your chest up towards your thighs. Keep going. Exhaling, going forwards, inhaling, releasing. Going a little bit deeper, pushing your lumbar spine into the ground as you do this. Really working the rec abdomen muscle. And then you start to feel some fatigue building up in that muscle. Try to keep the legs as straight as you can as you keep pushing that lower back into the floor. And then release. Bend the knees. Pull the knees into the chest. Give the lower back a squeeze. Keep hold of the right leg, straighten out the left leg. Then take the fingertips, belt the elbows behind the ears. Turn your left elbow towards your right knee. Inhale in here. On an exhale, twist the shoulders and change legs. So yogi bites. On the exhale, we move. Blow and go. Keep going. Nearly there. Good. And then release. Rock forwards and backwards here, and then roll up to seated cross-leg position. Lift up through the spine. Turn the shoulders to the left. Take the left hand behind. Lift up through the spine. Right hand on left knee. Inhale. Lift up through the crown of the head. As you exhale, twist here. So pull your tummy button in for a seated twist. Breathe into the tops of the lungs. Just taking the tension out of the core. Release, turn it all the way around to the other side. Take the right hand behind. Lift up through the crown of the head. Find length through the spine. Left hand on right knee. Twist to the right. And release. Okay, fold forwards.
coming down into tabletop. And we're going to come into pigeon on our fronts now. Stepping the left knee towards the left wrist. Reach down, grab hold of the lower leg, bring the lower leg forwards, the toes are pointed forward, return the hand down. Tuck the right toes in, inching that right leg back, and going to the point where you feel some tension in your glutes, in your backside, and then coming deeper into this posture. Taking a few breaths here. And then when you've had a few breaths here, 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, walk with hands backwards, lift the shoulders up, tuck the toes in, inch that right knee forward. What we're going to do is roll onto our left glute and sweep the right leg forwards. So we get the right leg nice and straight, ankle flexed, sole of the left foot into the thigh. Turn your body over that straight leg, reach the hands upwards, coming forwards with the pelvis, drop the hands down. And keeping the chest and the chin quite high here. Think about your right sit bones going backwards, pulling on that hamstring. Finding tension in that hamstring. Find that tension. Slow the breath down here. Releasing any tightness in the left hip or the left knee. It doesn't really matter where this knee is, but make sure it's not contracting. You're fighting against any contraction here. Softening through here. If your right knee's off the mat, that's okay as well. What we're looking for is tension. It doesn't matter what this posture looks like, or in fact, any posture. What we're doing is using the postures as tools to drive some stress into the body that we can then manipulate with our breath. Take that stress away. You can stay in these postures as long as you want. We're nearly there. You can remember where you're going, but I'm going to come out of this now. I'm going to take a counter pose with wild thing. So taking that left hand out just about a foot away from that left hip. Straight arm, push into the mat with a straight arm, push the hips forwards and take that right hand up and backwards, really stretching out through the front of the body. As you drive those hips, the core, the tummy forwards, feel that extension, that stretch, maybe the skin quite tight as you really go for it. And come all the way back, okay? And then coming all the way back onto our fronts again for pigeon on the other side. So right knee to right wrist, and then bringing that lower leg forwards and toes pointed forwards. Left hand down, inching that left knee back, find some tension here, and then slowly building the posture as you lower down. If that's okay for you, there's nothing wrong with staying up. If you already found tension in an upright position up here, stay with that. It's what you've got in your body, is how your body feels. It's just playing to your edges, going to the boundary, that point of just discomfort, and then breathing softly into that space. Again, just checking what's contracting that doesn't need to be fired up, using the skeletal framework to release the tissue, the muscular body. Then walking the hands backwards, nice and slowly. Going to inch that left knee forwards a little bit so we can roll onto that left glute, sweep that left leg nice and long in front of us. So it lands, so the thigh is pressing gently against the sole of the right foot. Ankle flexed in the left foot. Turn and face over that left leg. Reach up. Start to get the pelvis all ready to rotate forwards. Drop the hands down. And then going on that journey to find some tension in your body somewhere. Maybe that left hamstring. But keeping that chest and the chin quite high as you rotate that pelvis forwards. Soften your right knee, your right hip. Take a few breaths here as you breathe into this space. And slowly coming out. If you're ready to do so, take that right hand down to the right side of the right hip. Push into the mat with hand, straight arm. Lift the hips forwards. Take that left hand back. Find some space here as you really grow into Wild Thing, driving those hips forwards. Breathing nice and slowly, extending, lengthening as much as you can. Whenever you're ready, coming out of that. Okay, now coming down onto our backs. We're coming to bridge. So putting your feet close to your glutes, knees hip width apart, getting really good foundation, feeling for the mat beneath you with your feet. Rest your head and shoulders down onto the mat. Rest the hands down the side of the mat, flat through the lower back. So we want a little bit of tuck under here of the tailbone. So flatten your lower back on the mat, pull the tailbone up between the legs. Okay, when you're ready. Gently push into the mat with the feet as you lift the hips up into bridge. Keeping the knees parallel, driving those hips up with your glutes, keeping that tailbone tucked under and looking up at your belly, your chest as you breathe nice and slowly here. Active in your quads, active in your glutes and your spinal erectors. Really powerful muscles in the base of the spine here. Holding and breathing. Keeping those knees parallel, so using your inner groin here, your adductor muscles and the inside of the thighs to gently pull those knees together, not to touch, but to stop them flaying apart. And when you've done about 5 breaths here, we'll slowly release, but keeping that tailbone tucked under as you roll all the way down to the floor and then bring the knees up into the chest. Now you're okay, pulling the knees into the chest and massaging your lower back here. If you want another counter pose, forward bend, take the hands down onto the floor with your knees high, push into the mat with the hands as you lift your bottom off the mat and then catch your bottom with your hands. Elbows are grounded, straighten the legs out, point the toes, no pressure in the back of the neck here in plow pose, and then work with your range of movement as you use gravity to soften into this forward bend. Allowing the legs to go long and backwards, feeling that stretch through the hamstrings. Being mindful of your lower back, only going with what is okay for you. And then slowly, as you bend the knees, roll down, supporting your glutes, drop the feet down, take the head and shoulders onto the floor, take the arms out to the side, stretch out the legs, feet go to the bottom corners of the mat, let the feet flop to the side, tuck your chin in, close your eyes, take a big breath here. As you exhale, soften everywhere, soften the whole of the body, close your eyes. Allow the breath to occur naturally. And release into the ground. Following the ebb and flow of your breath. And then taking a moment or two to scan around your body for anything that might still be switched on. Allowing the whole of the body to soften. Feeling the temperature of your skin or maybe a possible draft across the body. Remaining connected with all of the feelings, the sensations across your body. Particularly around your hips. Softening around the pelvis, softening around the shoulders. Feel what part of the body feels heavy.
whether one leg's heavier than the other, or one arm, or one hand, or one foot. Feeling the pressure into the back of the head. And then return to your breath and follow the breath for the next few moments. See now, smooth, slow, steady. The breath is. You can remain in Shavasana as long as you want. But I'm going to disappear now. So thanks for giving it a go. And again, you can mix these classes up as much as you want. Add, remove things. Find something that works for you. So stay safe. Hopefully, might see you in class at some point. By all means, have a go at some of the other videos on the YouTube page, and give me a like if you like it. That'd be very much appreciated. In the meantime, thank you. Bye bye.